And welcome. Thank you for joining us for today's PPCC workshop preview. I'm Lyman Goodrich, and I'm your host for today's session. PPCC 26 takes place October 27th to 29th at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. And we have workshops on Sunday the 25th, Monday the 26th, and Friday the 30th. This preview series is designed to give you a sneak peek into the workshop content you'll experience at PPCC 26, presented by the same speakers you'll meet in person in Las Vegas. Today's webinar is being recorded and will be available for you on the workshop's detail page on the PPCC 26 website. So if you haven't registered yet, stay with us until the end, and we'll tell you how to save $150 off your conference registration using a speaker discount code. With that, it's my pleasure to introduce my friend, today's presenter, Vlad Catrinescu. Take it away, Vlad.
Thank you so much, Lyman, for the introduction. And hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today for this little preview on what we're going to learn at my workshop in Las Vegas. But of course, I hope you're attending the workshop. Whether you are or you're not, you're going to learn something today. And our goal in this webinar is how do we build our first Power Automate flow, approval flow in less than 20 minutes. So let's get started. Really quick introduction. So I'm a Microsoft MVP from Montreal, Canada. Have been a Pluralsight author for about 10 years now. So a lot of on-demand content, but we only have 20 minutes. You'll find the rest when you download the slides a bit later. Now, I know Power Automate is a bit more of a mature product, but business users every day are still learning what it is, because automation is the key to being more productive, whether it's basic automation or whether we want to do agentic automation later. A lot of it is built on the same foundation, which is Power Automate. So what is Power Automate? Power Automate is a cloud service that makes it practical and simple for everyone to start automating business processes. And what I love the most about it is that anyone with a basic tech knowledge can automate business processes, whether they are a line of business user, an IT professional, and they allow you to create, and Power Automate allows you to create powerful workflows without any single line of code. Of course, developers can still take it to the next level, so you can do some crazy, amazing stuff about it, but today we only have 20 minutes, so we'll stick to the no-code part of it. In Power Automate, you'll see three types of flows being mentioned. The first one, and the most popular by far, if I'm honest here, are cloud flows. This is when you connect to any cloud service or even on-premises service that has an API. Now, I know some of you might want to automate processes in Power Apps or model-driven apps, and this is where business process flows come in. Those are a bit different because they're not running in the backend. They're more like a recipe, like a process that you follow on screen. So they're different. And then we have desktop flows, which is your robotic process automation. So if any of you work in manufacturing, government, financial industries, where I know sometimes we still have some old systems that got deployed before an API existed, but we still want to automate them. This is where robotic process automation comes in. And in our Microsoft world, that is Power Automate desktop flows. Now, I want most of the session to be a demo, but I still want to cover just three terms and concepts that you need to know before we go into the demo. So the first one is Power Platform Connectors. Now, Power Platform Connectors, they're not only a Power Automate thing, they're used in many parts of the suite. And I want you to think of them as a bridge between your data source to your flow in our case, and they allow you to interact with data sources without any technical knowledge. We have over 1,000 connectors available in Power Automate, which is crazy. So many. We have some internal to Microsoft like SharePoint, OneDrive, Outlook, Teams, Planner. And we also have many external to Microsoft. So think at Adobe, MailChimp, Salesforce, or even X if you want to automate your social media. From a licensing point of view, and we only have 20 minutes today, so I'll try to avoid licensing as much as possible. We'll talk a lot more about it during the workshop. We really have two types, standard and premium. Um, so if I had to give you a quick tip, we're not going to go through 1,000 connectors today. We would use an hour just on that or more. But everything that's included with Microsoft 365, so your SharePoint, OneDrive, Outlook, Teams, Planner, everything that's included with M365 or consumer platforms, they are probably standard. If it's an enterprise third-party service, like think of Salesforce or MailChimp, or a Microsoft service that you would pay extra for. So you want to call an Azure function, for example, that is probably premium. Now, again, today we're only going to do stuff in Microsoft 365, but I still wanted to mention it. Now, inside of connectors, we have two types of operators that we really have inside of connectors, and they are triggers and actions. Triggers really only apply to Power Automate, but also to Copilot Studio if you ever want to do autonomous agents. And actions apply to Power Apps, Power Automate, and Copilot Studio as well. Now, the trigger is the event that starts your flow. A trigger can be automated, so something that happens in another system. So think at a new item added in a SharePoint list, or a new file added in OneDrive, or a new post on X with the PPCC26 hashtag. A trigger can also be time-based, so every day at 5 a.m., run my flow, or it can also be instant or manual, so where you trigger it manually as needed. In Power Automate, where we'll look in a second, you'll see Microsoft show it to you as 3 different experiences to create the flow. But the only thing it does in reality is actually filter the types of trigger that you see, but it's the exact same flow. The actions, well, that's a lot easier. It's every interaction with your data source. So it could be starting an approval, getting the user's manager, or sending an email. In our Power Automate flow, the trigger will always be the first thing at the top. Our flows will have one or more actions. And of course, we can also add logic controls. So that's enough slides for me today. I see that we did about 5 minutes since I started on the slides. So we're going to have 15 minutes to do the demo, which is amazing. And that's also what you're going to experience in the workshop in Vegas as well. We're going to do a lot of hands-on exercises, a lot of demos, and not many slides. So I'm here in Power Automate. Now you might be wondering, how do I get here? There are 2 ways. First of all, you can go to the waffle menu here, or I call it the waffle menu. The official name is the app launcher. And you can click on the beautiful Power Automate logo here. Or if you're like me and you remember URLs, you go to make.powerautomate.com and it will bring you to your default environment. Now, of course, on the homepage, you'll see the thing that Microsoft loves the most, which is Copilot. But today we're going to learn to do things by hand. So to do that, we will go to My Flows. Now in My Flows, you'll have 4 different tabs at the top. First of all, your Cloud Flows, which is what we're going to be covering today and in the workshop. We have 2 tabs for desktop flows, one for the production, one for the test, and shared with me. Now, every time that you see a flow that's in Cloud Flows here, it means you created it and it's not shared with anybody. So only you have access to it. As soon as you share it with somebody or somebody else shares it with you, it will appear in the shared with me category. So don't be surprised. It happens to me sometimes. I work on the flow so long. I am used to seeing it as the first thing here. Then I share it with somebody to test and I think it disappeared. No, it just moved to shared with me. Now Before we get started here, I just want to show you what we're going to be building. So I have this. I know I'm very creative with my SharePoint site names. It's called the Power Automate demo site. And I have a list called purchase approvals. If I click new here, you can see I had the title, the amount, the description, but I actually even have some hidden columns here, the approval status and approved and denied by, that we can set with Power Automate. As you can see, a user cannot set them whenever they create the item. So let's go and create our first approval flow, and I'll show you how easy it is to get started. So I'll go here to new flow, and remember when I told you that we have 3 different experiences? Well, we have the automated Cloudflow, instant and scheduled, but they're all exactly the same Cloudflow. The only thing it will change is whenever Microsoft shows you here, choose your flows trigger, it will filter it for us to show only the type of filters, only the type of triggers, depending on the type of flow we chose. So I'll call this here PPCC 26 preview approval. And my flow should start whenever an item gets added to the list over here. So let's click on create. There, I have my trigger at the top, which is when an item is created. Now, something important is that Power Automate is smart, but it cannot yet read our mind. So it doesn't matter that I have this SharePoint site open here in another tab. I still need to tell the trigger when an item is created, where, in what site, in what list or library, or list in this case. So I'll choose the Power Automate demo site. And then for the list, it will automatically show me the list in that site, and I will pick purchase approvals. Awesome. Then after that, well, I want to make my flow dynamic, right? I don't want it to be always go to the same person. I want to find a manager of the person that created the item. So I'll add my first action here, and I will search for manager. And you see I have under Office 365 users, I have Get Manager. You see, by the way, here, this one, and I'm sorry I'm picking on you, Easy Vista, because you're the first one to show up. It has a little diamond here. This means that this is a premium connector. Without a little diamond, it means it's a standard connector, so you don't pay anything extra for it. Now, great, I need to tell it whose manager do you want to find. And this is where one of the most powerful tools we have comes in, which is called dynamic content. To access dynamic content, you see, as soon as I clicked in the input box, I had 2 blue buttons here appear to the right. It's the one at the top, the one with the lightning bolt. The other one is about expressions. We're not going to cover them today, but we will cover them in the workshop in Vegas. So let me click here. And here you'll see all the content that the Power Automate flow can see from the trigger and every single action above. Right now, of course, we only have the trigger, but as our flows get bigger and bigger, we're going to have a lot more options in here. What I want to search is created by email. So the email address of the user who created the item. Great. And after that, I'll search for approval, and I will start and wait for an approval. As you can see, we have 4 types of approvals, but for today, we're only going to stick with one, which is start and wait for an approval. And then it will ask me for the approval type. Is it an approve or reject? Everyone must approve. Approved or reject, first to respond. So if you send it to 5 people, do all 5 need to say yes? And if one person says no, then the whole thing is denied? Or do you want to send it to 5 people, and whatever the first person says, that is the final answer? In my case, we're only sending it to one person, so it doesn't really matter which one we choose, but now you know you have both options. Now for the title, I'm not sure. Of course, we're all remote here now. And by the way, if ever you have comments or things like that, I do see most of them here on the screen. So if you have questions, please do not hesitate to type them in. I'll try to answer them throughout the presentation. But I'm sure a lot of you get approval requests, and it's all about, the subject of the email is new approval needed. But you look at that email in your notifications, and you have no idea if it's going to be a 2-minute task or a 1 hour task to get that approval done. So you kind of are afraid to open that email. Let's make it better. Let's actually say here new. Well, let's spell it properly. New purchase approval by, and then let's add the created by display name here for, and let's be honest, most managers don't care uh, what you're buying. All they care about is the amount that you add here. That is how they know how much time they're going to spend on it. So let me add the amount from, again, when an item is created. And as you can see, by the way, now I see dynamic content from both the get manager and from when an item is created. So, but I just want the amount. I don't have spaces here. Great. Who do I want to assign it to? Now, I get impatient with technology sometimes. And you see, I clicked here. I don't see my 2 blue buttons on the right. So I click again many times. But if ever you don't see the dynamic content and expression buttons, you probably have a gear next to it. And you can select use dynamic content, and then you'll see your buttons appear. So I want to assign it to the mail of the manager here. So it always go to the manager of the person that created the item. It's not, always goes to Vlad or to Alex by default. It will be dynamic. So for the details here, I'll say hello. Let's be very nice with this one. I'll search for display name. So I'll get the get manager display name. You have a new purchase approval from, let's search display name again here actually. So display name created by display name. They would like to purchase. Let's go here, and then we'll get the title from the request in SharePoint for the amount of, and then we will add the amount. Great. Do we have any other fields here? I have a description. Let me see here. Here is the description, if any, and I'll add the description here from Power Automate, from SharePoint, sorry. Great. Let me make it look a bit better. And then we'll say thanks and you're the best. Because, of course, being nice to your manager always increases your approval rate for purchases. So that's a small tip. We'll leave it as that. Then I can add a direct link to the item. It's really cool because Power Automate gives us so many of the things we need as dynamic content. So we don't need to build them weird ways. I have link to item here. And then the description, I can see, click here to view the item. This is what will be shown as the clickable text for the link. Now, something I want you to remember is that a lot of times in Power Automate, you'll see things like advanced parameters, but most of the time, they're not advanced at all. So, for example, here, I'll do show all. You always want to change the requester, because if not, it will always be requested by the person that created the flow. But I want it to be requested by the created by email. That's the right way to do it. Great. And then after that, well, I need a condition, right? Because we're not going to send the same email if it's approved or not. So what I'm going to do here, I'll say if the outcome of the approval here is equal to approve, then we will send an email. And we'll use Office 365 Outlook. Really important that you do not use Outlook.com. It has the same icon, but this is for your personal Outlook. We, of course, want the business one. We will send it to the created by email. Again, the subject will be, yay, your purchase has been approved. And then you can now go and purchase. And then we'll add the title in here. Again, because I really want to finish this in 20 minutes, I'm not going to go into customization and things like that, but you can customize an HTML, you can change the font, add CSS, you can do many amazing things to make it look awesome. And again, let's just copy the action. If you're lazy like me, by the way, you can copy actions. And then, yes, I need to allow it here. Then I can just paste the action in here. And then I'll say, oh no, your purchase has been denied. Please talk to your manager. And then we'll add here the manager display name and ask them why they denied. And then we'll add the title of the item in SharePoint. Of course, I'm making all of this right on the spot. Always make sure to spell check and things like that before you put it into production. But to show you why advanced parameters here isn't advanced, CC, for example, here is an advanced parameter. So this kind of shows you that not everything is really advanced. And we will add the manager email here, for example. So this way we CC the manager so they can one-click complain. Now let me save it here. Green is good, red is bad. So we'll keep it green here. The flow is ready to go. We recommend you test it. So how do we test it? Well, we need to add some items in SharePoint. So what I'm going to do here is let's go add here. I need a new keyboard. The amount is $50. My old one broke. And then we will click on save. And after that, I need to go to PPCC 27 in Bora Bora. I keep giving the idea of going to, Bora Bora or doing conferences in sunny locations like that. I'm not sure if they listen to me, but I can keep trying. The amount will be about $5,000, of course, with flights and things like that. I need a conference in Bora Bora because Canada is too cold. There we go. We're just going to add that in there. Now, I'll let you guess which one is probably going to be approved and which one is going to be rejected. If I go here to the history, now, it will always take between a few seconds and 2-3 minutes before the flow gets triggered. Usually it's pretty fast. As you can see here, the first one got triggered. The second one will be in no time. Now, I can also click on the flow and view the history. So you can see, I see that when an item is created, it got all the info in 0.2 seconds. The Get Manager was super fast. And now we're waiting at the start and wait for an approval. If I go and I can also click on one action, and I can see, for example, what was the input that was given and what is the output here. Where is the body here? The output here, you see the output mail is Vanessa at vladtalkstech.dev. So I really have access to what Power Automate sees in the back. You see the second one started running as well. And if I go to my emails, I'm logged in as Vanessa now, which is the manager. Let's look at the first one here. So this is the one for $50. And let me see if I can open this in a new window, really show you everything. New purchase approval created by display name for the amount. All the information is already in the email. Hello, manager display name. So Vanessa Lee, you have a new purchase approval. Well, and this is why you put stuff through spell check. Before you put it in production, from created by display name, they would like to purchase a new keyboard for this amount. Here's the description, if any. I will approve this one. Go for it for the comments. Again, will Vlad ever see the comment that Vanessa added? Right now, no, because we need to tell Power Automate everything that it should share. If you don't tell it to put the comment in the email to Vlad, it won't do it. So that's the kind of stuff that we need to learn to do, and the kind of thing we'll cover in Vegas. If I now go here to this one, I will reject it and I'll say submit again for 2 people so I can join you. Again, we will reject this one so we can make sure that we test both packs of our condition here. And if I now go log in as Vlad here, I see, let me hide some of those useless ones here. I see my purchase has been approved. So you can now go and purchase the new keyboard. And oh no, your purchase has been denied. Please talk to your manager, Vanessa Lee, and ask them why they denied PPCC 27 in Bora Bora, and the manager has been CC'd. Again, this flow could have been better because we never updated the stuff in SharePoint. So Power Automate has all those little gotchas that we need to learn. If you want to update stuff in SharePoint, you have to tell the flow to update stuff in SharePoint. But still, we were able in, 24 minutes, if I look at the time right now, we were able to build a full Power Automate approval flow. It's really awesome that I can build it and explain it and share it with you. All of that in only 24 minutes. This shows you how easy Power Automate is to use, but also how amazing it can be, because right now I only showed you the surface. And if we look at the Las Vegas workshop, we're going to learn all the solid foundations, but we're also going to go and learn how to use AI to extract data, to automate some of the manual steps in there, and maybe even, check the policy before we send it to the manager to see, hey, can we automate this approval with AI or not? What can we do to make our flows more productive with AI? So many things I want to share with you. We only did 25 minutes today, but I look forward to seeing so many of you in Las Vegas and pass a full day together where we learn how to take automations to the next level. Lyman, I think that is for my 25 minutes. I think right now you had a code for some people that they can save money. So
hey, Vlad, thank you so much. And thanks for the Bora Bora recommendation. We need to take that seriously. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. That's awesome that you found the time. We hope this session gave you some insight into what to expect at Vlad's full-day workshop at PPCC 26. If you're interested in the other workshop previews for PPCC, check the link that's scrolling along on the bottom there. We'll run it nice and slow, so you have an opportunity to get that. And I believe that it's a QR code that can do the link for you. That's great. So, and also, if you haven't registered yet, there's still time for us to join us in Las Vegas. When you register, simply use the speaker discount code that you see right there to receive $150 off your conference registration. So please join us in Las Vegas to connect with thousands and thousands of Microsoft technology professionals from around the world. You'll meet directly and learn directly from Microsoft's engineering and product teams, as well as some of the most respected experts from the global Microsoft technology community. That was a mouthful. Anyway, thanks again for joining us. Have a great day, and we'll see you at PPCC 26.
See you, everyone.